Good evening, everyone. I hope you are all well. I'm just making sure you can see me okay. So I hope you're all well and looking after yourselves. I'm not quite sure what the heat's like down south today because I haven't checked. So let's come and start easy cross-legged. If you're going to be playing music, I'm just sitting on my little tiny block here. If you're going to be playing music, let's hit play, whether it's your playlist or mine, in 3, 2, 1, and play. And then from here, let's have a little wiggle, get our weight even on those seat bones. Maybe have a little gentle lean over to the left. And then slowly come up and over. Just that natural breath, nice and easy. And then slowly come up, just bring the fingertips behind you, just open out the chest. And then just slowly drifting forward, maybe rest the lower arms on the thighs, maybe the palms on the floor. Just hold it here for a breath or two. And then from here, slowly come all the way back up. Let's repeat that one more time. Slowly coming over to the left, nice easy side there. Just that easy breath. And then slowly come up and over to the other side. And just slowly come upright. Fingertips behind you, open up that chest. And whilst you're here, checking in with how you're feeling, how your day's been. Not just physically, but mentally as well. Slowly float forward. Maybe the palms are on the floor, maybe the lower arms, or maybe you're just resting on your thighs, or maybe you're sitting up a little bit taller, just on your fingertips. Whatever's working for you right now. And then just thank yourself for turning up, thanking your body, your mind, for allowing you to turn up to practice, allowing you to be here on your mat. This time is for you to move your body and trying to stay present, being here for you. And then slowly come all the way up nice and tall and just soften the face, especially the forehead and space between the eyebrows. Soften the shoulders, the elbows, the hands. And maybe the hands are resting on the feet or on the thighs. Doesn't matter if the palms are up or the palms are down. Just check that you're nice and comfy. Check that that spine is nice and long, crown of the head towards the ceiling. Maybe it would be a little bit better if you sat on a cushion or a throw or your block. I'm just sitting on my small yoga block. It's very, very small, probably only about 1/2 inch, but just enough to give me a little bit more height, a bit more space in my hips. And then just close the eyes. Or if you feel uncomfortable with that, just find a spot to gaze at and just soften the gaze. And just bring your awareness to the breath. And just stay focused on the breath flowing in and the breath flowing out. Let's start to deepen the breath, to breathe with intention. So as you inhale, let's direct that breath wide and full to the side and the back of the rib cage. And just a nice long easy exhale out through the mouth. Breathing wide and full. So deep breath, side to the back of the rib cage. Filling that canister up. Nice and easy exhale. And then maybe we can come to our equal breath if that feels comfortable for you. So let's inhale for the count of 3 and exhale for the count of 3. So as you're inhaling for the count of 3, we're just repeat that one continuous, smooth, calm breath, wide and full to the sides and the back of the rib cage. Keeping the inhale and the exhale equal in length. Maybe you'd like to stay with the count of 3. Maybe you're able to deepen and go for the count of 4. Just check to see what feels right for you. If you can't keep the breath equal, just go back to 3 or maybe 2. And you can exhale partly out through the nose, partly out through the mouth if you want to, but try and inhale through the nose. Which is hard if you've got a cold or hay fever, so just do the best that you can. Let's do 4 more rounds. So just use your fingers to help you count, to keep track of the breath. So last 4. And once you've done your 4, just go back to that natural breath. If you're still doing your 4, that is fine, just carry on. And once you get to your 4, we're just going to swivel around, facing the top end of the mat. Hands can be behind you, so your fingertips can face to the front of the mat and face your body, or they can be out to the side, whichever feels comfortable for you. Just open out that chest, and then just gently roll the knees. So we just gently roll into outside edge of one foot, inside edge of the other, slowly center, slowly over, keeping that chest open, spine nice and long, weight even through both seat bones. You can still sit on a block or your cushion if that feels more comfortable for you. Crown of the head towards the ceiling. Eyes can be open with a soft gaze, or eyes can be closed. Now if you want to make this movement a little bit bigger, maybe bring the knees over to the side a little bit more. Maybe you're feeling fine and okay. Maybe the knees can mostly come into that 90-90. So the ankle does not have to be in line with the knee as we're doing this. Just take it nice and easy. And then the hands can stay in contact with the floor. So that right hand as the knees come over to the left can stay with the fingertips on the floor. Or you can just float it so it rests on that back knee. So as my knees are coming to the right, you can float that left hand to rest on that left knee. As you come over, the right hand can come to that right knee. Or just stay on the floor. Whatever's working for you right now. And then try to sit up nice and tall. So try and keep that spine nice and long as I'm mobilizing the hips. And this time, come back up. We will be rolling down to the floor to do a low bridge. So you can bring the hands behind your thighs and roll down vertebrae by vertebrae. Any issue with your back, just bring the knees to one side and fall down that way. So gentle hug in if you're rolling down vertebrae by vertebrae. Once you're down there, adjust your feet about hip width apart. Feet aren't too close to your butt like you would in a traditional yoga bridge. And bring the arms out to the side. So they're not clamped to the side, just so you can allow the backs of the shoulders, shoulder blades come in contact with the floor. And then maybe turn the palms of the face up to the ceiling so that way you can't push down through the hands. Weight even through both feet, spread the toes wide, big toe mounted in contact with the floor. Check that your pelvis is in neutral. Gentle hug in, that gentle brace. Float the hips off the floor, come into your low bridge. Check that the knees aren't falling in or out. And let's come back to breathe a wider fall to the sides and the back of the rib cage. Maybe come back to that equal breath. So maybe inhale and exhale for the count of 3. Now your inhales and exhales can be a lot longer than mine, or they can be shorter, but just work with your own length of breath. And in between the inhale and the exhale, there's just a slight, minute pause. Check in with that pelvis, is it still in neutral? Are the glutes still firing up? Are the knees still going in the direction of the toes? Big toe mound still in contact with the floor. And on your next exhale, slowly roll down, vertebrae by vertebrae. Upper back, mid back, lower back, pelvic tilt, come back to neutral. Pause in here. And slowly roll the knees to the right. Push your way up, so you're already roughly at 90-90. And then from here, place the hands on the floor, or maybe the fingertips, bend the elbows, hinge forward. And then slowly come all the way up. And then slowly make your way over to the left. 90-90, fingertips or palms to the floor, hinge forward, keep the chest open, lovely long spine, so you're not rounding the shoulders. Slowly come over, lovely long spine, fingertips or palms down, trying to keep that chest open, looking down towards the floor so you're not jutting that chin up or allowing the head to drop forward. One more, come all the way over. Plant the hands, hinging it forward, and then slowly come up. Open out the chest here. Option to roll down by the side, or bring the hands behind the thighs, and then roll down, vertebrae by vertebrae. Set your base. Gentle hug in, pelvis in neutral. Option, either a leg float, where you keep one foot on the floor and then float one foot off, and then that foot comes down, and then you float the other foot off the floor, or float both feet off the floor, keep that gentle hug in. Sacrum in contact with the floor, and come into toe taps. Let's start that right toe taps, and then left toe taps. Right toe, and then left toe. If you're doing leg float, you can still keep up, but one foot stays in contact with the floor. And then we're doing left, and then right. Keep the palms facing the ceiling, so you're not pushing down through the hands. And let's come over, right, and then left, right, and left. If you're getting tired, just come down to a leg float. Just keep going. And then if you're really tired, just rest completely. Keep that gentle hug in. Let's do 2 more each side. Last one right, last one left. And then float one foot down, then the other foot down. This time, roll the knees to the left, slowly push your way up. So you're coming to 90-90 to the left. Sit up nice and tall, hinge it forward. And then slowly come all the way up. Float the knees up and round and over. Hinge it forward. And then from here, stay in that hinge, beyond the fingertips or palms down, and then just slide that left hand over, so it's roughly in front of that right knee. You can be up on the fingertips and feel a stretch here. Maybe you reach a little bit more if that feels comfortable. Slowly come all the way back up, over to the left. Hinging forward, maybe palms or fingertips, slide that right hand over. Nice long stretch here. And then slowly come up. Come to center, open up the chest. And then from here, just sit up nice and tall, bring the hands behind the thighs, just sit up tall, lovely long spine. Feet can be flat on the floor or you can be up on the heels. And then slowly, just hinge back slightly, so keep that spine nice and long, keep that gentle hugging. I've still got my hands behind my thighs, and then slowly come all the way up nice and tall. And then hinge it back slightly, so just lean it back slightly, like you would if you're coming to a boat, and then slowly come up. Let's do 2 more, slowly come back. Keep that core engaged, that gentle hugging. Up, last one. And then slowly come up, float the knees round to one side. Slowly come to tabletop, set your base, spread the fingers wide, tuck the toes, gentle hugging, knees off the floor, hips up, our first down dog. So bending those knees, pushing up through the arms, so you're lengthening out the spine. Relax the head and neck. Pausing here in your down dog. So pushing up through the arms, lengthening the armpits, making that lovely inverted V, lengthen out the spine, knees are soft, so you are on the balls of your feet, spread the toes wide, don't worry about the heels touching the floor. And then exhale, slowly come to tabletop. And from here, bring the knees in, and then swing the toes out so they're the outside edges of the mat. Float the toes off the floor, and then bring the feet in together, and then bring them out, bring them in, bring them out. Just a little bit of hip mobilization here. So we've already mobilized the hips in our 90-90. And the next time the feet come out to the side, float the toes down, and 3 rounds of cat. So exhale, coming into your cat, the knees in, feet out. Slowly uncurl, coming into that gentle cow. So just be careful of that lower back and that neck. You may feel with the knees in that you might have a little bit more room, a bit more space in that lower back, or you may not like it at all. So if it feels uncomfortable, just bring the feet hip width apart. Come to neutral, tuck the toes, gentle hug in, hips up and back. Now as you come into your down dog, you'll notice that your toes are pointing in, heels are slightly out, and you're wide down dog. So just soften the knees here. Keep pushing up through the arms to set your base, spread the fingers wide, relax the head and neck. Soften those knees as much as you need to keep that spine long. And then breathe to the sides and the back of the rib cage. Equal breath, inhaling and exhaling for 3. And then from here, lean to the left and just step that right foot forward slightly, step the right hand, lean to the left. We're doing an easy walk. Feet and hands to the front of the mat. Bend those knees, allow the hips to float right back, lengthen out the spine so you've come into that halfway lift. Push the weight even through both feet, keep pushing down for the feet, hip hinge all the way up with a lovely long spine. Reach fingertips up towards the ceiling. And exhale, release the hands down by the sides of your body. And then from here, keeping the hands where they are, or bring them up to heart, or maybe bring the hands to the hips. I'm bringing my hands to the hips, but the choice is yours. Soften the knees and allow the hips to float back, coming into a chair. And then slowly come up. Keep the weight even through both feet. Hips float back, knees are starting to bend. Keep that chest open, so broad across the collarbones. Slowly come up, spine stays nice and long. Check as you come down that you're not jutting the chin up or allowing the head to fall forward, and check that you've not got the chest facing down to the floor, that you've got that slight lift. Slowly come back up. Hip hinge. I've got my fingers in my hip joints to remind me to push my hips back. And then slowly, slowly, slowly come up. Let's do one more. Keep that gentle hug in. Bring the hands through to heart center. Shift the weight onto that left foot. Soften that left knee. Step that right foot back. Option to wiggle. Wobble over like I am. Check that you're on 2 lines, not 1. Hands through to heart. Soften that back leg. So you may need to bend it a little bit more. Or it might be a little bit more lengthened than mine. But you don't need to lock or hyperextend that knee out. Pause in here. And then take a nice deep breath in. As you exhale, just lower that right knee to the floor, coming to your kneeling lunge. Reach your fingertips up towards the ceiling. Have a lovely long stretch. So lifting it up, out through the rib cage. Feel those shoulder blades lifting up, pelvis and neutral. Exhale, plant the hands to the floor. And either tabletop to down dog or just step straight back to down dog as you are. So when we transition to our down dog, just do it however feels comfortable for you, for tabletop, or you can just lift the back knee and step back into your down dog. And then from here, let's lean to the right, step that left foot forward, left hand, lean to the left, step that right foot forward, left hand. Coming towards the front of the mat, you don't have to come right to the front edge. And then from here, allow the hips to float back, hip hinge all the way up. Reach your fingertips up towards the ceiling, and as you exhale, bend those knees, hips float back, come into chair, bring the arms to shoulder height. Slowly come all the way back up, fingertips point up towards the ceiling. Only if that feels comfortable for you, you can bend the elbows if you need to. And this time as you come down, maybe the fingertips point to the back of the mat and lengthen the arms by the side of your body. Slowly, slowly, slowly come up. Exhale, hinge down. Keep that chest open, so you're staying upright, not coming down to face the mat like this. Staying up. And then slowly come up and down. Check in with the knees. So we're making sure the knees aren't falling in or falling out. Knees are going in the direction of the toes. Spread those toes wide. Activate the arches of the feet. Let's do 2 more, but rest if you need to. Big toe down stays in contact with the floor, hips are floating back, spine is long. Trying to keep that pelvis in neutral. Slowly come up, reach fingertips up towards the ceiling, bring the hands through to heart center, shift the weight onto that left thigh, step back, coming to your low lunge, 2 lines, not 1. Check in with that back leg, pelvis in neutral. Chest is open, so you broad across the collarbones. And slowly lower the knee down, reach fingertips up towards the ceiling. Lovely long stretch here. Exhale, plant the hands, step back, down dog, or tabletop and down dog. And just breathe. Keep those hips high. And then easy walk. Doesn't matter which side you're leaning to, just do a nice easy walk. Feet to the front of the mat. Halfway lift, allow those hips to float back. Hip hinge all the way up. And then from here, grab a drink. I grabbed mine on the way up. So it's making sure when it's hot, as you all know, that we stay hydrated even during our yoga practice. I'm just getting my hair out of the way. So option now, you can stay with your chair like so, bringing things up towards the ceiling, or you've got the option now, as you come down, just got you can bring the hands through to heart and do an easy twist. Now, we're not bringing the elbow to the knee or to the outside of the knee, we're just slowly coming up and twisting. Your other option is if you can bring the hands through to heart center and then twist. Or I sometimes, if I come up, I just bring my fingertips to the side, up, and to the side. You can also, as you come down, just allow the arms to sweep back and up. So your choice. Just different options for you to do with your arms. So we're not coming down, bringing the elbow to the knee. We're not bringing the elbow to the outside of the knee. Just doing that little ski squat, ski chair with a rotation. So check your base, gentle hugging. Reach fingers up towards the ceiling, and as you exhale, rotate to the right, up, and then to the left. Check in with the knees as you come down into your chair. Check that the weight's even through both feet. And just allow the hips to float back as you bend those knees. Spine is long, trying to keep that pelvis in neutral as much as you can. So we're moving from the hips, not from the pelvis. You're doing well. So this is 5, 5, 6, and 6, 7, 7, got one more, each side. Fingers up towards the ceiling, bring the hands through to heart center, step that right foot back, checking that you're on 2 lines, not 1. Bring the fingers up towards the ceiling, gentle hugging, so working the core, gentle activation of that right glute. Option to bring the hands through to center, or on your next exhale, you can keep the arms extended as you come down into your lunge, kneeling lunge. Bring the hands through to heart center, swivel that right lower leg under, coming into a kneeling warrior 2. Check your base. So check that left knee's not rolling in, knees going out. You may feel it stretching down that inner thigh. Pausing here. And then from here, side angle, left lower arm to that thigh. Just reach fingertips up towards the ceiling. Maybe bring that right bicep by that ear. So just leaning back, rolling the belly open. Then from here, I'm just going to let you know before you do it, fingertips come forward and down towards the floor. And then with the palms in front of that left leg, plant it down. So then the right shoulder, left leg, right shoulder, right wrist. And then from here, you can extend, if you want to, the left fingertips up towards the ceiling or keep on the palm. Open the body out to the front of the mat and then maybe release that right ear down towards that right shoulder. So lean back into the right shoulder blade. Left fingertips pointing up towards the ceiling, only if that feels comfortable on the shoulder. And then from here, exhale, float that left hand down and in front. So it's underneath that left shoulder. So the fingertips are pointing to the side of my hands or off my mat. So that's fine. And then from here, bring in that left knee next to the right knee and allow the toes to come out to the side, ready for our cat-cow with our knees in, feet out. So 3 rounds of cat-cow. So 1, slowly uncurl, and 2, and 3. Slowly come into that gentle cat, being careful of that neck and the lower back. Slide the feet together so the ankles together. Slowly roll the hips to the right. Swivel the feet round to the straight in front of you. Feet flat on the floor, knees are bent. Fingertips can be pointing towards the front of the mat or turned out to the side slightly. Open out the chest. So try not to let the shoulders roll in. Roll the shoulders back. Nice strong core. Lift the hips up and come into your reverse bridge. Hold it here. Checking that you're not dropping the head back or allowing the head to drop forward. Slowly lower the butt to the floor. And as it just lightly touches the floor, squeeze back up using your glutes. So we're coming into a little bit of strength here. So you're working the arms, the shoulders, core, and using the glute to come into your hip extension. Keep going. I've lost count, so I'm going to say that's fine. No, I'm going to say 4. Now I'm going to say 5. Rest if you need to. 6. Keep that chest open. 7 and 8. Slowly lower the hips down. Option to come down to your back for low bridge, either from the side or you can roll down vertebrae by vertebrae. Adjust your base. Palms facing the ceiling, but not too close to the body. Back to the shoulders, shoulder blades on the floor. Pelvis in neutral. Gentle hug in, not too tight. Slowly come up into your low bridge. So it's not a full yogi bridge, it's a low bridge. Glutes are on. Check in with the thighs, the core. And then from here, keeping the right ball of the foot on the floor and the right big toe now, bring the right heel off the floor, lower the right heel, then float the left heel off the floor, lower it down, then the right, lower, left, lower, right, lower, left, lower, right, lower, left, lower, and then slowly bring the hips down towards the floor, sacrum on the floor, pelvis in neutral, leg floats or toe taps. So bring one foot off the floor, then the other foot off the floor. And let's start with the left foot. So left toe tap, right toe tap, left, and then right. Left, and right, 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 left, and right. Let's do 2 more each side. So left, right, left, and right. Pause it here. Float one leg down, then the other leg down. Bring the knees over to the right. Push up, 90-90. Sit up nice and tall. Hinge forward. Slide that left hand over towards that right knee. Stretch it away. Come up onto the fingertips. And then slowly start to lift the body, the fingertips off the floor. Slowly come up nice and tall. Crown the head towards the ceiling. Fingertips up towards the ceiling. And then a gentle rotation. So you're opening up towards the left. Try and stay broad across the collarbones if you can. And then from here, bring the knees up, left hand to the floor, 90-90, over to the left, hinge forward. Sliding that right hand away over towards that left knee. Come up onto the fingertips as you start to lift the body, float the right hand up, crown of the head, fingertips up towards the ceiling, sit up nice and tall. Start to rotate round to the right, open up nice and wide if you can. Bring the right hand down, knees over to the right. Do 1 more each side, coming down. Slide that left hand across on my fingertips. Nice long stretch. Inhale if you can to slowly come up. So up tall. So that gentle rotation, open up wide. And then slowly come over to the left. Hinge it forward. Slide that right hand across. And then slowly start to sit up. Open out. And then slowly just come back to center. Open up the chest here. You can come to an easy cross-legged view on your fingertips. Take a nice deep breath in. Nice and easy exhale out from the mouth. And then wherever you are, tabletop, grab a drink if you need to. And then from your tabletop, tuck the toes, hips up and back, down dog. And then in your down dog, set your base, so push up through the arms, lengthen the armpits, relax the head and neck. Lengthen out that spine, making that lovely inverted V, hips are high. Breathe to the sides and the back of the rib cage. And coming to that equal breath. And then from here, just lean to the left, step that right foot forward, that easy walk to the front of the mat, just taking your time. Check in with the head and neck. Come to that halfway lift, allow the hips to float back, lengthen out the spine, hip hinge all the way up. Reach the fingertips all the way up to the ceiling. Take a nice deep breath in, and as you exhale, allow the hips to float back, bending the knees, rotate, that gentle rotation to the left. Slowly come up, pelvis in neutral, coming over to the right. Chest is staying open, spine is long, hips are floating back, weight even through the feet, so spread those toes wide, big toe mound in contact with the floor, activate those arches. So this is 3 to the left, and then 3 to the right. Allow those hips to float back, and 4. Keep that gentle hug in, 4, and 5. 5 to the right, rest if you need to, and 6, and 6 to the right. 2 more each side if you can. Check in with the knees. And then slowly come up, bring the hands through to heart center, weight to that right leg, step that left foot back, coming into your high lunge. Set your base, pelvis in neutral, left glute is on, fingertips up towards the ceiling if that feels comfortable for you. And then next exhale, lower the knees down, kneeling lunge. And then from here, swivel around, warrior 2. Right. Knees in front, you've swiveled that left lower leg under, and let's come into our side angle. Maybe the left fingertips point up towards the ceiling, or the left bicep by the left ear. Check in with that head and neck. And then slowly bring the left fingertips to point down towards the floor. Bring the hand down by that left thigh, plant that hand down, shoulder over that left wrist. And then open out to the front of the mat. Maybe you've just got the elbow pointing up and just relaxing the hand, maybe the palms resting on that thigh, or maybe the fingertips are pointing up towards the ceiling. Maybe release that left ear down, leaning back into that left shoulder blade. And then slowly float that right hand down. And then slowly bring that right knee to the left knee. Bring the feet out wide, come into your cat-cow ×3. It doesn't matter if you started with a cow or cat, but as you come into that cow, nice and gentle, careful with the neck, careful with the lower back. So you're not just dropping that belly to the floor. And then we'll all meet in neutral, slide the ankles and the feet together, hips to the left, slowly come round and forward. Set yourself up for your reverse tabletop. Shoulders are open, so you're not rounding the shoulders forward, you're bringing the shoulders back. So lifting up that chest, lovely long spine. Gentle hug in. Inhale, squeeze with the glutes. And exhale, slowly lower. Squeeze up for 2. Check that you're not dropping that head back for 3. Stay nice and strong for 4. And then for 5. Exhale to lower. Use that inhale to help you lift. 7. No, 6. Is that 6? I'm saying this is 7 now. I'm rubbish at counting and talking. 8. Maybe we can do 2 more. And last one. Slowly, 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 slowly come down. I can feel that in my arms. And then from here, sit up nice and tall this time. Bring the arms forward, fingertips forward, or maybe bring the hands behind the thighs. Slowly hinge back, and then slowly use the core to help bring you up closer to the knee, crown of the head towards the ceiling. Hinge back, doesn't have to be a big hinge back, and then slowly up. Stay nice and strong. This is 3. Remember the hands can be here behind the thighs for 4, 5, and 6. Maybe stay here and hold. Maybe do 2 more. 7 and 8. Pause and breathe. Hands behind the thigh. You can roll down here, or you can come down by the side. Slowly come down. Set your base ready for your bridge. Checking at the shoulder blades, back to the shoulders on the floor, so you're broad across the collarbones, pelvis in neutral, spread those toes wide, big toe mound, arches are activated, checking with the knees, use those glutes, low bridge. Pause in here. Keep spreading those toes wide, big toe mound and contact the floor. Now, this is just an option. See if you can lift both heels off the floor and then lower them down. Both heels off the floor and lower down. Up and down. Up and down. You've got to use that core, you've got to focus. Keep the big toe mound in contact with the floor. A little bit of balance. And then lower the heels down. And then now, float the balls of the feet and toes off the floor so you're balancing on both the heels. And then from here, slowly lower the hips down to the floor and then squeeze up, glute raises, lower down, squeeze up, so balancing on the heels. Keep spreading the toes, pelvis stays in neutral. Use those glutes. Doing well. So we've sneaked in an extra abs, and then we sneaked in an extra round or bridge. Let's do one more. Slowly bring the balls of the feet down, the toes, and then slowly roll down, vertebrae by vertebrae. Come back to neutral. Leg floats, toe taps, or heel digs. So if you're doing heel digs or toe taps, both feet off the floor, heel digs, flex the feet. So this way, bottoms of the feet, the soles of the feet are facing the front of the mat, toes are pointing up towards the ceiling. Gentle hug in. Right heel taps the floor, slowly comes up, and then the left slowly comes up. Right, keep it slow and controlled, and then the left. So remember, with your leg floats, right, and then your toe taps, left, and these little heel digs, the movement is coming from the hip joint. There's no movement at the knee or the ankle. And just see how slow you can keep it. Option to go back to toe taps, stay we've moved the heel digs. Option to come down to your leg floats. Just checking in with how you're feeling. Checking that you're not flaring out those lower ribs. Just keep everything knitting in together to the midline. Let's see if we can do 2 more each side. Last one each side. And then from here, just gently hug those knees in, gentle rock from side to side. Bring one foot down and the other foot down. And then from here, let's bring our knees over to the left, sit up, 90-90. Sit up nice and tall. Hinging forward, slide the right hand over, and then sit up nice and tall, crown of the head towards the ceiling, fingertips towards the ceiling. Gentle rotation round to the right, open out the arm if it feels comfortable. If not, you can keep the arm bent. Float the fingertips to the floor as you bring your knees up and around. Hinging forward, sliding the left fingertips. I'm just staying on my right fingertips here as well. And then slowly sit up, but you can bring the palm to the floor, whichever feels comfortable for you. Just sit up nice and tall. Gentle rotation to the left, up and over. One more each side. Just taking your time, coming over to the right, hinging it forward, sliding it away. Slowly come up and over. Bring the knees round, open at the chest here, feet can be flat on the floor, easy cross-legged. And then we'll just swivel the hips round. Tabletop, tuck the toes, hips up and back, down dog. Take a nice deep breath in. Nice and easy exhale out through the mouth. Equal breath. So making sure you're pushing up even through both hands. Relaxing the head and neck. Lengthen out that spine. Don't worry about the heels touching the floor. They may never ever touch the floor with your spine. It's more important to keep that spine long. Equal breath. Slowly lower the knees to the floor. Bring the big toes together, bring the knees wide. Just coming into child's pose, whichever child's pose is calling out for you. So you can be extended with the arms lengthened down. You can bring the lower arms to the floor. I've got my elbows close to the knees, and then just turn to bring the palms towards the ceiling. Maybe you can bring the forehead to the floor and then bring the arms coming to more of a traditional child's pose, with the lower arms resting by the lower legs, as I'm demonstrating now. Or maybe it's more appropriate for you to be in a kneeling position with the palms resting on the thighs. Just check in and see how you're feeling. And wherever you are, we'll meet up in tabletop. Toes can be tucked or the feet can be flat on the floor. Let's do 3 cat-cows. It doesn't matter if you start with a cow or a cat. Just work with your own range of movement. Just mobilizing the spine, vertebrae by vertebrae. Just remember, as you come into the cow, try to be careful with that neck. So just try not to jut that chin up. And just be really careful with that lower back. So just don't just drop the belly, spinning the guts to the floor. Just take your time. Looking after the spine, those weak links, the neck and that lower back. And then we'll all meet in neutral. Slowly come to easy cross-legged or an easy seated. You can even be kneeling if that feels comfortable for you. You can grab a block or a chair. Let's grab a drink. Now, if you've got a block, you can bring it, just in case you want to the side for your side stretch. So you can either come over to the left and bring that left lower arm to that left thigh, or you can bring it to the block, or if you're a little bit more flexible, you can bring that lower arm to the floor, left lower arm to the floor, the thigh, or the block. You can keep the right hand on the thigh. You can bring that right elbow up high and just allow the hand to relax, or you can just bring the fingertips up towards the ceiling and then just releasing the left ear towards the left shoulder. Eyes can be closed, they can be open, just soften the gaze. And just keeping that head in neutral, don't worry about looking up at that hand, that right hand. And then just slowly floating that arm down. Push your way all the way up. And then float over to the left. Remember, the thigh, block, or bring that arm to the floor. Don't worry if that knee comes up a little bit. Left palm can stay on the thigh. You can bring that left elbow up and stay here. Or maybe lengthen out. Just check in, see what feels comfortable for that shoulder. Releasing, right ear towards that right shoulder. Soften the gaze. Don't worry about looking at that hand. And releasing that arm down, slowly float all the way up. Open out that chest. And then just slowly bring the hands forward. Remember, you can just rest in lower arms. You can be on your fingertips here with your palms, or you can bring the lower arms down. Sorry, just making noise on the block. Just going to let you know. You can just rest your lower arms on your block if you want to. Whatever feels comfortable for you. Just allowing that breath to slow down. And then just slowly, slowly, slowly come all the way up. Float the fingertips up towards the ceiling. Left fingertips. Bend that left hand, and maybe you can bring the left hand towards your back. So it may be in a little bit more towards the spine, or your fingertips may be pointing down, coming into a tricep stretch. For some people, that's just enough on its own. Others, you might want to gently push from the back of the arm, or maybe from the elbow. Some of you who may be super flexible in your shoulders, depending, can come into your camel pose where you might be able to bring the fingertips to touch. Some people may like doing this with a towel or a strap, but you don't need to do this. You can just stretch from here. That is fine. Also depends on your shoulders. So if we need to do some work on our shoulders, a little bit more flexibility, open them up, a little bit mobility, you can always email me and I can, if you want to work on that, and I can always do a practice with a little bit more movement for the shoulders, just let me know. And then just slowly float that arm down. Let's swap over and do the left. Bring it left, right, bringing that right hand down, it's because I'm mirroring you. Oh, I can really feel that on mine. You're right, but my left. So remember, you can bring that right arm behind. You may be able to link the fingers. It's a little bit tougher this side for me, but it might be better for you. But you don't have to do that. You don't have to come into cow pose arms. And just slowly release and just roll the shoulders back one at a time. And then from here, you can keep your block to the hand if you need to. We're coming down to a figure of 4 glute stretch, and then we'll come into a figure of 4 recline twist, just to finish off. So, figure of 4 twist, just going to demonstrate before we do it. If you find it hard to, as you rotate, to bring that foot to the floor, it can either rest on the inside, the leg to the floor, or you can just rest the foot on your block and then come into it. But anyway, let's start. I've got my left foot on my right thigh. For some people, that's enough of a stretch. You have the option to float that right foot up and place it on your block, and that may be perfect for you. You may be able to float that right foot all the way up. You can bring the hands to that left lower leg and pause here. You can push that right thigh into that left foot, the left foot into that right thigh. Or you can interlace the hands behind that right thigh and give it a little bit of assistance. So it's up to you which feels comfortable for you. And it may feel different from day to day, which is fine, depending on what activities you've been doing or not doing. Now this right lower leg, it can be in line, the knee in line with the ankle of the foot flex. We can keep the foot flex and lower the heel to the glute, whichever feels comfortable for you. And let's float that right foot to the floor, keep the length in the spine, and then rotate over to the right, bring that left foot down towards the floor, or maybe your block, so you choose which is best for you. I'm keeping my right hand on my left foot, but you can keep it on that left knee if you want to. And then you've got the option of bringing that left arm out to the side. It can be shoulder height, it can be lower, it can be about 45 degrees, or you can even keep it in contact with the left side of your body. And then I'm keeping my head in neutral, but you've got the option to turn and look over that left shoulder. And then from here, use your hands to help come all the way back up. Just pause here, just for a moment. And then slowly bring that left foot down to the floor. Pause, have a little wiggle, set yourselves up, ready. Float that right foot off the floor, bring that right foot onto the left thigh. And then you've got the option to use that block underneath that left foot if you want to. If not, you can float the left foot up a little bit higher, flexing both feet. That left lower leg, ankle can be in line with the knee, or you can bring the heel down towards the glute, up to you. Hands can be on that right lower leg, or they can be linked behind that left thigh. And you can push that left thigh in towards that right leg if you need to. Check in with the breath, making sure the breath is not short. Checking that you're not holding the breath. Back of the head, upper body relaxing into the floor. If you find that you can't bring the head down, you might need a pillow or cushion, or use your block as a pillow. So try not to keep that head up, just relax it back to the floor with the support. Cushion, block, pillow. Slowly float that left foot down, so just release the hands. Slowly come over as I bring that right foot over to the left. Remember, you can use the block or rest that foot on your thigh, your left thigh. I'm keeping my left hand on my right foot, or you can bring it to the knees, up to you. Option to extend that arm out. It can be about 45 degrees, it can be shoulder height, or I'm just keeping my hand in contact with my right side. Head can stay in neutral, or you can just gently look over the right shoulder. Check in with the breath. And then from here, use your hands to help come all the way back up. Just pause for a moment. Then float that left foot to the floor. And then from here, we'll come into our final relaxation. So you're going to have the choice of either coming into maybe your recline bound angle, or maybe you'd like to join me in your knock-knee position. So whichever position you've chosen, just bring the arms just a little bit away from the side of your body and just come onto the back of the hands, palms facing up. So we're not bringing them up to shoulder height. We're just allowing the backs of the shoulders, shoulder blades come in contact with the floor. Just allowing the shoulders to soften and rest. And then just check that the fingers are soft, palms are soft, elbows are soft. Shoulders are open, so you're broad across the collarbones. Backs of the shoulders, shoulder blades in contact with the floor. Chest is soft, ribs are soft. Just relax the belly. And then wherever you are, with your legs, just soften the toes and the feet. Just allow the legs to feel heavy. Check to make sure that lower back feels comfortable. If it feels uncomfortable, either in your recline bound angle or your knock-knee position, please roll to one side. And then bring awareness to your face. Just soften the forehead, the space between the eyebrows. Soften the face, the cheeks. Relax the jaw. The lips may part slightly. Maybe allow the tongue to fall away from the roof of the mouth. Soften the throat. Just check that you're on the back of the head, not the crown of the head. So you've got the length in the neck and that chin is not jutting up. Just bring awareness to the head, resting on the ground. Slowly bring awareness to the backs of the shoulders, shoulder blades, elbows, backs of the hands, resting on the floor. And then just bring awareness to your lower back, the sacrum, also resting on the floor. And then maybe some part of your foot, your recline bad angle with either outside edges. If you're joining me in not knee, it's the whole of the foot. And just bring your awareness to the parts of the body that are in contact with the floor, the ground, the earth. And just feel the earth supporting you, feeling that support beneath you. And just allow the whole of your body to relax a little bit more, feel a little bit heavier. Just allow yourself to be supported by the earth. Just that natural breath, no forcing, no controlling. Just surrendering a little bit more to that rest, that deep rest. If you find your mind wandering, slowly bring awareness either back to the breath in or the breath out. And just bring awareness to the space between the eyebrows. And just slowly bring awareness back to the breath in, the breath out, in and out. And bring awareness back to the body, feeling the support beneath your body. Maybe stay here, maybe wiggle the fingers, maybe wiggle the toes, maybe you'd like to hug the knees in towards the body, or maybe you'd like to come into a full body stretch, or maybe like me, I'm just lengthening out one leg, bring my arms gently above the head, and then I'm going to bring one leg in and slide the other leg out. So whatever's calling out for you right now to finish off your practice, to end your final relaxation. And we'll all meet up on one side, whichever side feels most comfortable for you. Just pause here for a moment. And then just slowly push your way all your way up, coming into really easy cross-legged or an easy seated. And then you can sit on your block or your cushion. Once you get here, have a little wiggle from side to side. Weight even on those seat bones, lengthen the spine, crown of the head towards the ceiling. Face is soft, shoulders are soft. Elbows, hands and feet are soft. Just bring your hands wherever feels comfortable for you. Just that easy breath. And just bring awareness to the space between the eyebrows. And take a nice deep breath in. Float the arms, fingertips up towards the ceiling. As you exhale, bring the palms together, hands down through to heart center. Hands can stop at heart center with thumbs to the heartbeat. Or maybe you'd like to bring the hands to the belly or the feet. Take a nice deep breath in here. And exhale gently out through the mouth. Inhale. Gently blow that exhale out through the mouth. Slow and soft. Thank you very much for joining me this evening. May you be happy, may you be healthy, and may you find peace within. And just slowly flush your eyes open. Just keep the gaze soft. My heart to yours. Namaste. Thank you very much, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Remember, if you've got any questions for me, any requests, you can either type them on here real quick, or you can message me on Instagram, or you can email me, whichever you prefer. But thank you. See you soon. Enjoy your weekend. I know everyone's saying this, but keep drinking lots of water, stay in the shade, just look after yourself, and enjoy. Bye-bye. Oh, lots of sunscreen as well. See you soon.